Right, Shane here from Organics Agency. So in this video, be doing an audit of Just Fix Today. Just Fix Today is a handyman services company in, I'm not too sure where exactly, so Alpharetta. They do have a pretty great website in terms of what's on it. You have the proper elements. I'm seeing here a welcome section, probably about a company. You have your form here. I don't really like the hero section too much, and mainly the image, and I would say throughout your entire website. It's rather generic, so I don't see any personal information. I'm not too sure if this is a real company. It probably is, but I don't know if it's a real company that is in my neighborhood because I don't see any branding, right? I don't see any branding and I don't see any kind of images. So that's one thing you'd want to do over time, add some real images in there. And for certain services, the images might not look as clean as these stock images, but at least they're a bit real. They're more real than other than just stock images. So as we scroll down, I do see that you have the right elements on the website. Now, what I would like to do is just use a detailed extension to have a look at your homepage. Everything checks out. You have a description for the page and your URL is fine. We do have over 1,000 words on your homepage. So you have a lot of content on the pages that are on your website, it seems. So that's pretty good. Some of your links could have better, right? So you can like optimize it a bit more. And I think the images on your website, we'll have a look at the full website in a bit, but just based on your homepage, I think you have quite a bit of images, 38 images without any title and some without any alt text. This is quite important because some of the images will actually go on to rank on Google. So next, you'll want to have a look at your schema. Your schema is there, which is great, but I think you could probably add in more information on your schema on the home page, but also all the other pages on your website. Now, I already ran a speed audit just to check the page speed of your website. And as you can see on mobile, it scores a 37 in terms of performance. On mobile, on desktop, it might be better. Yeah, so it's a bit, it's like 65. So normally you'd want on desktop for it to be around 90%, at least above 80%, 80 out of 100, because on desktop it's much easier to get to the 100 mark. A lot of the clients that we manage their website on desktop, it ranks above the 90%, 90 out of 100, so it runs very smoothly on web desktop. Now mobile is going to take a bit of time and it's a lot of work. There are a lot of things that could be improved, right? So yeah, this one, the LCP, this usually cause a lot of issues on a website. So this is Google. It's by the way a website by Google, and Google is basically telling you everything that you need to like clean up on your website in order for this to improve. So you could probably use some plugins, one or two plugins to clean up the unused CSS, also minimize JavaScript. So some of these can be sorted in a plugin, or you can manually go in there and take care of it. Others are a bit more difficult to resolve with just a plugin, and you'd want to like manually do that over time, unless you pay someone to optimize it right in one go, but that's going to cost you quite a bit of cash, right? So but you'd want it to be loading quickly on mobile, but also desktop. Most of your visitors are going to come from mobile, so that's also one of the reasons why you'd want to make sure that it runs smoothly on mobile. Now, one thing that I would like to do is just look at the website traffic over time in general, and as you can see here in terms of SEMrush, you can see that there's not much traffic going through. This graph could be, right, if you look at over the past 2 years or just all time, you can see that you have clear spikes in traffic, and I think this could be because you launched a ton of pages maybe at once, or you uploaded, maybe once in a while you upload like 5 or 6 blog articles or maybe pages to the website, and then as you see it just dies down because there's no consistency in the SEO that you're doing. There's no strategy, or maybe there is, but right, it's just not enough right now for Google to push you ahead. So if you look at also the amount of keywords that you're ranking for over time, it's also extremely low. So if we just go, yeah, So you can see here, you had a build up that was sometime at the start of the year, but then it just tanked. And I'm not sure why, but all of these red flags here, these are times, right? Google does a lot of updates. So you have a lot of Google updates. And right now, as you can see here, this is probably like 30 or 40 updates just in the past year. And one of these updates or multiple of these updates could have been the cause of this steep decline in your ranking. So what happens a lot of times is, well, we'll get to that, but yeah, so that's just basically what I'm seeing right now. Also, I don't see a lot of like branded traffic. You'd want to focus mainly on branded traffic when just starting out, because that's where a lot of your traffic is going to come from. Also offline traffic. So, the more people you can get offline visiting your website, whether that's through like door hangers, flyers, or anything like that, it's going to help your SEO, right? And help your website perform better on Google and, well, I mean, Google and Bing, right? So yeah, next thing I would like to look at is just your website overall. So this is a different tool. No, I like to use different tools because each tool will tell you a different story with basically the exact same data, and there's certain tools that don't actually use, right? They use different kind of like data sources and present the data in a different way. So it's great to just look at it from like different angles. So right now we find about 900 issues. Most of them are content related, so on page stuff. About 45 are major errors. So if we look at like what's going on there, we can see you have some pages reading 401 or 4xx status codes. You want to get those fixed. I'm not sure what kind of like plugin you're using for like your on-site SEO, whether that's used or rank math, but you don't want to get one of those to just basically clean up these issues here as quickly as possible, or you can do it manually, of course. So let's see, some of these are not that important. So you have about 45 broken links. Do follow external links. These are registering as errors, but they're not always necessarily errors on your website. So you just want to manage that. Again, if you could possibly use a plugin or just manually go in and sort these out. Make sure that these external links are not all do follow external link, because it means that you're giving away link juice. So another thing is, like I said, on your homepage you had about 35 or about 37 images that were under optimized. Now on your entire website you have about over 337 images that could be further optimized, that should be further optimized actually. And also some pages missing meta tags. And what I also noticed, I'm not sure if it was in this report, you could use a better interlinking structure. Basically, this is telling me that your homepage has a lot of internal links going to those pages, but away from that, I don't see any other large pages on your website. So you need better interlinking. These are just errors. But then looking at your entire website right now, I think there are certain pages on your website that just are not indexed properly. There are also pages on your website that have a lot of like a high level of duplicate content. It's not necessarily bad, because a lot of those pages could just be your location pages, and it's not necessarily bad, especially if you're in a low competitive niche. You are probably going to experience that at the start, but that's just something you want to look out for. Now, if we have a look at this, you can see that some of your pages do have over 1,000 words of content. So it's pretty wordy. But then there are also certain pages that are showing up that should not be showing up, like these category pages. Those should actually be removed from indexing. The same for these tag pages. So it just tells me that overall your website, in terms of like how it's managed, it's not perfect. SEO side, you are doing, like, you're publishing content and whatnot, but I think right now, just looking at this is your homepage. These are 4 homepages that are showing up. I did see this one was moved permanently. Yeah, so it could be good. I don't know why this is still showing up, but it tells me the story that you have a website, you've been doing some kind of like SEO on there, you have like the important pages on there, but you're missing some of like the foundational stuff, right? Like I said, the images, more personalized stuff on the pages, and just making sure that your website is fast on mobile. That's an important one, I would say. And you'll find people out there that will just say that it's not that important, but yeah, you know, everything adds up over time. So you don't want to just focus on also like your website speed. So I think getting the foundational stuff sorted, making sure that right your website is properly, not just properly structured, but you have the right plugins. The 404 or 401 pages are removed. You write these low quality pages, just clean up your website a bit. That's gonna probably make a difference, and seeing where you can reduce the amount of like duplicate content. Again, overall your website has quite a bit of content on there, and I like the flow or just the overall branding of the site with the yellow and the blue. So but yeah, that's my review of your website. As for your Google My Business, I think yeah, your title is a bit over optimized, so I guess you're flying under the radar for this. But if Google notices it, you could be suspended. And let's see here, September was the last time that you posted. Again, a lot of the things that I'm seeing are not real images of you. So this could actually just be generic rank and rent website. You see that a lot. They have these kind of like images. You could see that it's not a real image. Looks too polished. I like that you have the branding on the images, and that you have been posting somewhat on your profile. You need more reviews. You need a review reputation management system set up so that you can like automatically ask for reviews. You could populate your website, both your website and also your Google business profile with more FAQs, right? So quite a bit of stuff that could be done. And I say overall, right, if you have the budget for it, go ahead and do some local link building to just improve the rankings of your Google My Business, but also your website. But I think a lot of work can, a lot of things can be improved based on just like your website. Now, I'm not sure where you found us, but we're over at organicsagency.com, and we do web design, local SEO, Google My Business Management, and we also provide website support. So yeah, organicsagency.com. But yeah, if you have any questions about this, just let me know. And if anyone else is watching this and you're like, you need a website audit to this one, just let me know, and I'll shoot one as quickly as possible. It's almost the end of the year, so I can't promise that it will be done before the end of the year. But if I have time, I'll get it done before December 31st and send it right back over to you. All right, cheers.